So we start off September and the week that we will probably get the teaser talking about 5 things that we already know from the update after the leaks. So 5 conclusions looking at the leaks, if they are true, and they look like they are, of course, what we can draw from a conclusion from those, right? 5 general ideas here that you can expect in the update, okay? Of course, there is a little bit of a thing that I need to, disclaimer here that I need to talk about. Not all vehicles are in the leaks normally, so we might see some other vehicles that, will make some of these points that I'm gonna talk about be kind of, lose the ground, right? But at the same way, you will get the point. So the first thing is that this is a filling gap update, it seems like it. If you really take a look into it, you have new AAs for those who didn't get one before for top tier, of course with the Italians, the French, the UK, and even the Russians. More close to top tier jets to fill gaps. So for example, the F-16I, also the F-18s for the British. They are all filling gaps there that I think a lot of people wanted to have, right? The Thai ground to fill the Japanese tech tree a little bit more and have a little bit of a more difference in that tech tree. And even the B66B, which fills a gap that was really big on the bomber line, probably where we would be added, right? For the US tech tree, right? So it feels like this is a filling gap update, which is normally what you see in these updates that are not like the end of the, year update or the first update of the years, etc., right? You will see these updates where they try to focus more on just having stuff that are needed for the game to have another step up in the next update, for example, right? Or in the one after that. So this feels like a filling gap update. That's not a bad thing, we are filling some gaps that need to be filled. It just means that it might not be the most exciting update ever, just because of that. And you will see that in some situations. Me as a content creator, I see the reactions of people, and I have a feeling that a lot of people are a little bit disappointed with the leaks, right? But that's, one of the reasons. I think this is kind of an update just to help it out in holes that we have in the tech trees, stuff that we needed fixing, stuff like that. At least I hope it is something like that. Maybe they fixed a little bit of some bugs that are going around, or not bugs, but stuff that need to be changed, right? So this is kind of that. So yeah, very interesting, but yeah. The second thing is kind of ongoing with the first one. We will probably not see any type of, pushing in performance top tier jets. What I mean about that is that according to the leaks, we will probably not see another level of performance in top tier jets be increased, right? What I mean is you will not see, for example, a new Su-35, right? A new Super Hornet or something like that, right? We will not see another 4.5 generation jet. It feels like, according to the leaks for now, we're gonna have to wait and see, but it feels like it is going to be a patch that doesn't even have like a proper 14.3 vehicle getting added for aircraft, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any, and don't get mad about it, because I have a feeling that if that is the case, they will probably join up some of these that they're probably working on and release it on the patch in December, for example, like the Super Hornet and maybe the, like I said, the Su-30 SM2, the Su-35, J16 or something like that, right? So yeah, it feels like it is a patch that it doesn't push forward the performance of top tier in aircraft, which can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your opinion, but it feels that it is something that they are not trying to do right now. Third one is that all the new AAs that they are bringing, so the SAMP-T apparently leaked for the Italians and the French, the Sky Saber for the British, and the Buck M3 are bringing the subject of multipath again to the talks in the forum, right? They're going to be kinda useless depending on situations, unless they remove the multipath situation. So multipath, if you don't know, it is that, mechanic in the game that if an active radar homing missile goes to a target that it's flying below 60 meters, the radiation bouncing back from the ground will be higher than from the aircraft itself, since it's flying lower, and the missile will go downwards a little bit, and it will hit the ground instead of the aircraft. This is kind of a defense mechanism that Gaijin added so that Fox 3s are not that OP. That's my opinion, at least, on why they did it, right? But if you take a look on the Buckheim 3, that will probably have the active, radar missile, and both the Aster missile of the SAMP-T and the Skysaber missile, which is also an active missile, they all going to be a little bit useless in certain situations. So if you fly low, it is going to make sure that you never die for these AAs pretty much, okay? And once you get close enough, there's nothing these AAs can do. So there's a little bit of a question mark that I wanted to talk about here. This is something that is going to happen. Do they need to change multipath? Let me know in the comments, right? Because a lot of people are asking for multipath to be absolutely removed. I don't know about that. I would be willing to go to the more realistic way possible. So, it depends, right? Because I don't know how in real life it works. I don't think it's that powerful, multipath, in real life, I would assume. So, yeah, there's that, right? So I think they need to go to the most realistic pathway possible. That's my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you think about multipath. Should it be removed? Let me know. Again, another thing that we will probably not see is any type of new big mechanic, like infantries or something crazy like that, right? It was expected that nothing crazy would come, but now we kind of have a confirmation. Normally, when something big like that will come to the update, normally appears on the leaks. So we didn't see anything. So it is most likely that we will not see something that is game-changing for this update on mechanics. No, seed like missiles or infantry or something like that, okay? So that can be a good thing, that can be a bad thing, it depends, but it doesn't feel like it is something that they're gonna do. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is that more Norwegian vehicles, even if they are mosquitoes, show that, it might mean that we eventually see Norwegian jets, Norwegian tanks in the Swedish tech tree. Not only like the F5 that they got, right? That it's like an event vehicle or even premiums and stuff. It feels like they are pushing a little bit towards kind of a sub-tree for the Norwegians in the Swedish tech tree, which is great. I think it is great. It is kind of funny, though, that only the mosquitoes and 3 mosquitoes, the Mark II, the Mark IV, and the Mark IV Ash, are leaked to come. Normally, when they do this type of thing, they do it like the Japanese tech tree having the Thai or even the Finnish getting added to the Swedish. They do, a multitude of vehicles, not only one model with 3 variants, right? They do like 5, 6, 7 vehicles, different vehicles to be added like that. So I wonder what these mosquitoes will be, if they're going to be event. What is that? What are those, right? We're going to have to wait and see. But having these in the leaks mean that they are pushing a little bit more for Norwegian vehicles, which can be great for the Swedish tech tree. Again, they can have some very different vehicles that are in other tech trees, but they're nothing like it for the Swedish, like the F-16, for example, right? Some tanks as well. So hopefully they do add those and make the Swedish, which is sometimes it tends to be kind of a small tech tree, into a larger one, having maybe the Danish as well, the Norwegians, like I said, together with the Swedish and the Finnish, right? It would be very, very cool. So basically, these are it, guys. These are 5 things that I could notice from the leaks. Let me know in the comments what you think and what are your 5. And I see you guys on the next one. So make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye, guys. See ya.